Thank you. Hold on. While I get started here, I use this joke a lot, but those of you who've heard, I'm an educator. I'm a teacher. Don't give a mic to a teacher. We like to talk. I'm a history teacher. We tell stories. Guess what? You get two of them tonight. Mr. Chinichi is also a history teacher, so you guys will be okay. I won't talk too long. First, let me congratulate my fellow inductees, Hunter, Jeff, and Mr. Chinichi. Also, I want to thank Dr. Liu for the wonderful introduction. Also, thank you to Toby and Derek, as well as Nate Lauder and Mr. Stewart, Kevin Pellegrini for those words on the video. Over the course of the last few months, when I found out that I was entering it, like Jeff, I also was like humbled, but felt, yeah, I can do this one day. But I think when I was getting to think about it, I got to reflect about all the influences throughout my time here at Malvern and beyond. And to think there's no secret that I chose my profession as an educator in large part because of these wonderful influences I had here. Mr. Stewart used to talk about like the hierarchy, the order of importance that we were supposed to have here at Malvern. He would say God, family, school, and if you had time, sports, but I guess we would throw in sports here at Malvern. If you ask Father Duffy, it might be something different, but it was definitely in that order. By attending Malvern, I was able to develop a closer relationship with God through our lessons in chapel, but more importantly, through each other. Next in Stewart's hierarchy, we had family. I was very fortunate, like so many people, to be touched by an amazing family. Not only the Borgersons, but the Dewans. You guys have always supported me throughout my career, and although, like most teenage boys, I didn't make it that easy. First, let me thank my mother, Nancy Smith. You've been my biggest cheerleader no matter what. Always there to support me. I really appreciate it. Next, those of you who don't know, I have two younger brothers, and I like to think that I'm the third best athlete in our family. My brothers are amazing athletes, Matthew and Mark. I did enjoy my times in high school, to be honest with you, because I was your biggest hero then. It was pretty awesome to be someone's hero. Also, I really enjoyed it, as you guys just saw. That was the last time I was actually taller than my brothers, because they're 6'5". So I did enjoy that. But what else was pretty cool is that although we have a big age gap, and we still have a great relationship, and you guys also decided to attend Malvern, and that we have this place in common, which is so special to all three of us. Melissa, yes, I know, some of you are often surprised to hear that we have a sister. But as my brothers can attest, it's your steady force that has always kept us calm at times in those very difficult times, and I really appreciate it. Jane, it's because of you that we all decided to go to Malvern Prep. It was you that pushed us to go to private school, and I cannot thank you enough. And side note, I decided to become a teacher. Jane was a teacher, so I've always tried to follow in your footsteps. I really do appreciate it. Sports teach us as valuable lessons, life lessons, and I'm so thankful to learn so many of those here at Malvern, being a part of such outstanding teams that were mentioned, some championship teams. But athletics also have a great ability to bring people together. And my experience here did just that. I got my first real true varsity experience in wrestling. I wasn't even going to wrestle when I came here. I didn't know anybody on the team. I didn't know the coach until I had PE one day. Mr. Kennett came to me and said, "Doug, you're going to wrestle." I thought, "I am?" He said, "Yeah, you'll be varsity." Ambitious young kid? "Yeah, I'm in. Let's go." So I decided to do wrestling. Little did I know that this innocent little comment that he told me I was going to wrestle would literally change my life, not just because of the sport, but because of the people I met. And three people that I met through my wrestling family are still family today. Yus Mita, Derek Donegan, and Mario Severa. I've always been chasing the three of them, the class of '95, all three a grade above me. Yes, today Malvern is a national power in wrestling, but when it started, we hadn't beaten Haverford School, let alone win an Interact title. I was fortunate to be a part of so many great teams as a player and as a coach, but perhaps my most cherished is my '94-'95 junior year wrestling team. What a group of guys to accomplish something that had never been done before. Coach Morgan, who couldn't make it here, and I speak on behalf of our team, it was because of his positive approach and his unwavering support that we were able to achieve beyond everybody's expectations that year. Nate Lauder, another teammate on that team, has turned Malvern into this national power, but I'd like to believe that in a small way it all started with our team led by Mario, Hughes, and Derek, so thank you. Mario's here. Give him a round of applause. Come on, guys. Shoot, I'm a middle school teacher. I'm used to people laughing more than you guys. Thank you. Oh, man. Although I don't wrestle anymore, and probably shouldn't because, you know, I'm old, track is very much a part of my life. In fact, small plug, everybody, tomorrow there's a race at 7:30 that I'll be there, okay? And I think Jeff Hilliard said that if anybody over 40 can beat me, he'll donate $1,000. I think that's what Jeff said. So anybody over 40, you're there? You're there. All right, good. 7:30 tomorrow morning. All right. I love my time a part of the track team. Track is definitely the most social sport of all of them, and I coach track today in a large part because of my experiences. I got to have wonderful teammates like Toby Booker and Chris Gowan. It's also the first time I got to experience the wonderment of the Penn Relays, and I still go every year, and it's a pretty awesome experience. It's also the first time I ever suffered an injury, was track. I know what you're thinking. Doug, you did pole vault, you long jumped, you hurdled. No, no, no. I didn't break my wrist doing that. I fell at the finish line. I know, I'm super athletic. It is true. Actually, how I got started in track is pretty funny. My sophomore year, I was actually playing baseball, and I was on the varsity bench. I was a catcher, and we had some guy named Ben Davis, so I just wasn't going to play. And so in typical teenager ADH fashion, if you guys remember where the baseball field was in relative to the long jump pit, in full baseball uniform, I ran and jumped into the long jump pit. And all of a sudden, a coach appeared. It's Coach Reed, George Reed, and he said, do it again. So I did it again. And there it was. I was on the track team. They did give me a different uniform, though. That was nice. Coach Reed, Coach Paul Simpson, and Coach Tom Stewart, thanks for helping me reach beyond my own limitations and stretching me to try pole vault and even the 400, although I vowed never to do that. And finally, football. I guess Malvern's known most for football. And when I came here in 9th grade, I was like, I'm going to be a catcher and a running back. And as you heard in the video, that quickly got redirected. Coach Rawlings came out to practice one day, our freshman coach, and there wasn't a QB. We had like a few of them, and I don't know, they were at detention or trying to get a girlfriend. I don't know what happened. But none of them were there. And he said, who wants to be a QB? Mind you, up to that point, I had played 6 years of football. I played for the Drexel Hill Raiders, chasing Toby Booker around the field. I had done every position but quarterback. I had never taken a snap from center. With all the confidence of a 14-year-old punk freshman, I'm like, I will. I wish I could tell you that I was an instant success. Nope, far from it. Luckily, I was surrounded by some of the best teammates anyone could ask for. Those who remember our fall of '95 team, it was something special. The stats speak for themselves, but let me tell you what a joy it was to play with such wonderful teammates. Toby Booker, Derek Downs, Joe Nangle. What a dynamic backfield. I think Mr. Algio can attest as opposing coach, it was pretty difficult. And you know it's a good backfield when a future college All-American, Chris Downs, can't get on the field. That's how good they were. I want to thank Dave O'Brien and Jim Keaveney. They were some of my biggest supporters, and they were always quick to point out that I was the best QB in the state, under 5'10". And what QB can be a great success without a great line? I still owe my linemen a dinner, but I do want to thank Rob Moser, Dom Cusano, Marlon Miller, John Heavens, Mike Pino, and Steve Galzinski for allowing me to perform at a high level. The seeds over the '95 team were planted the year prior. It was because of guys like Steve Ganna and Dave Hissler that we were ready to reach even higher levels of success than just an Interact title. Nope, that wasn't going to be enough for our team. We wanted to dominate. The coaches knew what we had going in. Joe Sells, Paul Simpson, Jimmy the Jet, Kevin Pellegrini, most of all Gamp. I think that Coach Pellegrini, Gamp Pellegrini, might be the most mentioned person in the history of Malvern athletics. I was lucky enough to do 3 things. I was lucky enough to play for him, coach with him, and coach against him. There's few of us that have been able to say that. I can go on and on about Gamp as a coach and his ability to dissect an opponent, but that's easily measured by number of wins that he earned. But let me tell you why Gamp, like so many of my other coaches in this room, had a tremendous influence on me, not as an athlete or as a coach, but as a man. They got to know us as people and really wanted us to become great young men. When I was coaching with Gamp, we were at the Flying Pig and having a wing, and we were talking about one of our favorite subjects, golf. And he asked me, he said, "Borgie, did you belong to a country club, like growing up?" I said, "Yeah, actually we did. We belonged to Lanark." I said, "Though we gave it up." He goes, "Yeah, why is that?" I said, "We gave it up so I could come to Malvern." He turned to me, and if you know Gamp, he turned to me, he said, "Borgie, now that's a father." Dad, I cannot thank you enough for all that you personally sacrificed to allow my brothers and I to attend Malvern. If I can be as selfless and as giving as you are when I finally do grow up, it would be a great honor. Thank you, pal. I stand before you as Oklahoma State football coach Mike Gundy once famously said, "A man, 40. I'm still wondering what I want to be when I grow up, but I do know with certainty that because of the valuable lessons my family, teachers, coaches, and teammates that I had here at Malvern, I possess the right mixture of humility and confidence to tackle anything in the future. I cannot thank all of you enough for giving of yourselves to help mold and shape me into the man I am today. God bless. Have a great evening." Great job. Thanks, Tom.